definition of freedom, justice, and equality for the black man, and where and when is it to be attained?
Well, take equality first. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad doesn't teach us to associate equality with whites. Equality has nothing to do with whites. We don't want to be equal with the white man. He's not the criteria or yardstick by which equality is measured.
My name is Erica. I'm the CEO of ET Productions. This is Carnival hot dog.
My name is Angela Rose. Mary with the Rosemary's Market.
Is the definition of freedom, justice, and equality for the black man, and where and when is it to be attained?
Well, take equality first. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad doesn't teach us to associate equality with whites. Equality has nothing to do with whites. We don't want to be equal with the white man. He's not the criteria or yardstick by which equality is measured.
My name is Erica. I'm the CEO of ET Productions. This is famous Carnival hot dog.
My name is Angela Rosemary with the Rosemary's Marketplace. And I am here at Gallery 9.
I'm having a great pop-up offend. Supporting local charities. Which is Halo 7, and we're supporting local Black-owned business. Want to declare Malcolm X amazing holiday. It should be federal for every single state.
Malcolm X is a martyr for our people.
The definition of freedom, justice, and equality.
We're in support of Malcolm X.
I really feel that Malcolm X stood for unity in the community.
His greatness is elevated to the very heavens.
Thank you to all our founding leaders and set that foundation for us to be able to execute today.
His works will never be forgotten. It's recorded.
To all my friends out there in Nigeria, I want you to claim Malcolm X Day. May 19th.
Hey, Malcolm X Day, May
19th. May 19th. Malcolm X Day for the world.
May 19th, guys. Let's make topic of the day. Black power. I love you all. Let's make change together.
All right. So I hope that y'all were excited as I was. I'm sorry that we were like, it was, I don't know if it's delayed. We're going to figure it out on the playback. But we're so excited to roll that out. Like it's incredible that to actually get to be here for the Claim Malcolm X Day this year. Because when this actually started years ago, it was just like I was in Miami and I was like, okay, well, the very least I can do is do an event down in Miami, right? But to actually be here for one, I'm just like so excited and over the moon, and I'm just like I'm really pumped. So y'all excuse me if I play that back a couple of times. I'm just like we're trying to figure out we're trying to figure out too how to continue to show that so that every time there's a live, you're gonna see that, y'all. And if you have not signed the petition yet, please do, because that petition has been out for a few weeks now, and I was for sure we would be to above 1,000 by now, but at any rate, we're just really excited to just show that, to launch that that trailer, so and share that with you all. So I definitely hope that you guys not only that you signed it, but also that you share that link and continue to support, because it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, and to say that we pioneered efforts to get this declared a global holiday. We're not just talking about, in our cities or in our communities or even in the nation, because it's bigger than that. Like, we're trying to even go with intergalactically. He said, is he my brother? Yeah, he's my brother. No, Palmetto and I met about 9 years ago. It was literally, we met the first time I actually lived here in Georgia, but it was when I moved back to Miami. So he had, if I'm not mistaken, he had just moved here. We met online through, I saw his video for Too Raw for TV, and it was a police chase, and he was talking about the police brutality and the harassment from police, and just something really resonated. I think it might have been a quote about Malcolm, because y'all know I'm a lifelong study of Malcolm X, but something really resonated, and I reached out and I was just like, hey, what, I'm here in Miami, but I definitely want to connect, and so we just the communication was always online. It was always it was call, text, email, that sort of thing, but physically. And this is where the power is, physically, because, it's one thing to be, back and forth and you're communicating with someone. Communication is good always on all levels. But physically, when I moved here, like, immediately he was like, yo, let's link. And it's been incredible. ever since. Like this is what I would have. This is the way I would have wanted everything to play out. Like because sometimes when you meet people, they everything that they talk about now, they all be like, I don't know, I don't really know you. But when we met, and it was just like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm building. Do you want to be a part of this? And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Let's link, let's live, let's connect. And it's been super peace. It's been super peace. And it's been 9 years. Like that's crazy. I was thinking about that earlier today because today's his birthday, y'all. Today's his birthday, and I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, we've been friends longer than almost as many years as I was married. We've been friends. We've been friends literally. We met months before my divorce. And so, we've been friends ever since. And, I've been divorced for 9 years now. And I was just thinking about that. I was like, so many couples are like breaking up. And I'm like, dang, we've been friends for a minute. We're going to have to figure out what month we met so we can have like a friend anniversary or something like that. It's crazy. But we were on earlier today and we were having so much fun, but he had to make a run. And so we, and it was like I said, it's his birthday. So I wanted to, we wanted to go ahead and eat and everything. And I made a couple of things. I made some fire coconut fried rice, y'all. Your girl really did it. So I think we're going to add that definitely to the colored only cafe menu. The Crown and Beauty says, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Crown and Beauty is in Canada. So, so definitely, sis, make sure you sign that petition and share that with your fellow, what do they call them, Canucks? Do they call them Canucks? Your fellow Canucks. Make sure you make sure you sell it. Share it with them. Is that what y'all say? Y'all say A after everything, right? So definitely, we want to make sure that this gets in front of this is, like I said, it's international, and if we can, we're gonna make it intergalactic as well. But yeah, so we were having so much fun earlier. I said, what, let's just go ahead and jump back on. This is birthday. Let's just do another live. Because I'm still here in the studio anyway. So I said, let's do it. We wanted, like I said, to roll out that very special trailer, literally hot off the press. And it's only right because we are in Too Raw for TV, print and press and studio. So as soon as it came off the press, he wanted to roll it out. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's see if it'll play through my StreamYard. And I know it might have been a little glitchy, y'all. Sorry for that, but it is a really dope video, y'all. The music was fire. Y'all, when I tell you I love that song, that gives me Call of Duty vibes, right? It gives me those Call of Duty like feels when that Call of Duty, not even play Call of Duty, but it was like when that Call of Duty came on, like everyone gets moving. So we just wanted to really kind of extend the day a little bit. And we were having so much, good interaction earlier. I was just saying I wanted, to continue to vibe a little bit with everybody to see, just to kind of get a feel. Because it's been a minute since, I did a live, but we did one last Wednesday. And we usually do What's Glowing On Wednesday, but I've been missing those late night ones too. Y'all know we used to get on here at 10 o'clock and go to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We won't be doing that. But yeah, it's the energy. The night moves differently. Y'all remember that song by I think it was Michael Seaver. Tell me how the night moves. Yes, I used to. Yeah, I was always into those like Steve Winwood, that song, Glenn Frey. She belongs to the city. I was always into music like that. So if I reference these, like Johnny, what was that song he made with The Innocent Man with Tom Selleck? Such a good movie. But yeah, I was always into those old like soul, like those bluesy 80s music, those 80s music songs. So if I reference them, forgive me. I know Crown and Beauty, right? I do miss y'all at night, but y'all know it's crazy. Like I actually do go to sleep at night now. I used to be up all night with y'all, and my kids used to be like, Mom, you said an hour ago, Mom, you said 2 hours ago. And I would be like, just all right, we're gonna do it tomorrow. So I was always moving our movie nights and our game nights. But this is always fun. So every once in a while we can do this. And y'all, coming up on Friday, April 2nd, literally next Friday, because I ain't gonna do nothing on April Fool's Day. We gonna talk about that another time. I just hate like those little like silly advertisements or whatever, those renaming of those. I just hate that. But April 2nd, we are doing a 24-hour. Y'all, my son reminded me of that. My son was like, Mom, you never did a 24-hour live. You kept saying you were going to do a 24-hour live in the new year and you never did it. So I said, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. April 2nd, we are going to do it Friday. We're going all night from 12 midnight to April 3rd, 12 midnight. So we're going to do that. And then April 4th is the big Equinox brunch here in Atlanta at the Core. Make sure if you are in Atlanta, get here, 2857 Main Street. It is going down at the Core. It is going to be a really nice Equinox brunch. We're having ooey gooey cinnamon rolls. We're having beignet Belgian waffles. We're having the tofu scramble, the keto omelets, the keto egg omelets. Y'all know we're having that. We're having Grove, but it is the peachify version of Grove because it is only right because it is Georgia, y'all. So we rolling out the peaches on that Grove, and it is just gonna be a lovely day. It's gonna be a real peace day, real nice day for just fellowshipping and gathering. So if you are in Atlanta, make it on out. Colored Only Cafe is doing their Equinox brunch. Yes, 24 hours. It's gonna be phenomenal, I promise. So it's us in here. We a light low tonight. I think y'all must have gone to bed early, but we're gonna see. What are we talking about? Y'all know we talked about Derrick Jackson earlier. I don't want to give that too much energy. There wasn't too much more I wanted to say about it. I know you kind of had to go in the middle of it. Was there anything else that you had wanted to say about it in particular?
Not really. I just find Derrick Jackson to be hypocritical anyway. That's how I see him. I see him, and people that have that same message oftentimes are found to be hypocrites, and it's not surprising. To me, it's not surprising. He seems like somebody that just he found his niche and what he wants to talk about, but however, that's not really what he is. It's just a projection. It may be something that he strives for. He strives to be this, good Christian person that he puts out there.
He wasn't a Christian before this thing happened, though. He wasn't talking like that. Yeah, he wasn't talking about that. He wasn't talking like that years ago. Like, that wasn't his thing. So, okay, so, all right, so we're going to revisit a little bit because Sis said she missed that talk. So she missed that talk with Derrick Jackson. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance to watch the playback or the playback, please do. But we I think we unpacked it pretty good. I think that it's just it's a distraction, and I think that when that's unfortunate that we can be so easily. It reminds me of babies, we can be so easily like, and we right, so they got vaccines, they pumping out vaccines, and people are not funny, but the supermarket was shot up in Boulder, and that was even like third, but first was still when you plug in Derrick Jackson come up, it's trending. It's crazy. But yeah, he is super hypocritical. Mm-hmm. But okay, so let me ask you this though. This is and I really want to know. But how do you think he should have been handling it? Or do you
He
think that
should
he
have handled it privately.
privately? That's what I
That's
said.
it. I
I
mean,
think that was just super
and
weird,
then to
dragging his
drag
wife
your
out.
wife out
Yeah,
there, and then
it's a
she's not,
lot.
and then you looking at it like you got makeup on, you got another season came out today.
Wait, he had makeup on? Stop it.
He has some
Um,
eyeliner and all that on.
that's what I think. I think, hey, Charles, Charles, you never wrote me back. Did you get the calendar, bruh? Because I made sure I got that thing off in the mail to you. And then I ain't hear nothing else from you, bruh. Did you get that calendar? You're out in Texas, right? But I know we had the Florida Lease connection, the Louisiana connection. And Charles, you might want to listen to that Justin Bieber song and let me know what you think. Because I could swear that Justin Bieber didn't know you. But and I said, dang, who is Justin Bieber's writer? So he said, I took my chick to the Noya. But it says on the lyrics, it says, I took my chicks to the north, yeah. And I'm like, nah, I think he said he took his chick to the Noya. I think he took his chick to the Noya. I don't know. Yes, you do owe me a pic. Okay, so I'm so glad you made it. So glad you made it. And Charles, make sure you also sign that petition, y'all. Sign that petition. I do. It's pinned in the room. It's not up here, but it's pinned in the room. And I do think he should have handled it privately. I know personally when I was going through my situation with my ex-husband, it was a lot of private conversations and they were horrible. They were horrible. So that's why I said him making it public saved him from having to relive it all over again, because I do believe him when he said that this happened last year, like everything came to fold last year. Because I was sharing with Palmetto because I follow Derek Jackson, and I think I'm still subscribed. Actually, I didn't unsubscribe because of this, but I followed him pretty consistently up until about 6 years ago, and then we had a very heated exchange over one of his videos, and it was in a comment section, and I unfollowed him, and so I unsubscribed, and I was unsubscribed for many years until COVID. And that's what I think I realized that he wasn't posting, because I was just like, why is he not on here a lot? Because he used to be always on here with some videos. But when he did start doing live, that's when I resubscribed. That's what it was. I resubscribed because y'all know he didn't do lives. Like when lives became popular at the top of COVID, they're just doing them. And that was around, now this all makes sense, because that was around the time that everything was happening with his woman, with his wife. And I apologized because I had said some things that were really out of me being hurt and emotional, because he basically told me that I was like wasting my time with the guy. He said the guy was not gonna make me, and he was like, he said, you have to decide that you want better, because clearly clearly he's comfortable, and he's comfortable with you just being a girlfriend. And I was like, no, I'm a wife, and da 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 da. And I was saying some things, and it was like everybody was like liking up his comments, and nobody was liking mine. And I took it really personal. So when I did resubscribe to him, I said, hey, you may not remember me, but we had a very heated exchange. And to my surprise, he did. He remembered it, and he was like, the things that I was saying wasn't like to hurt your feelings. They really were like, I really was trying to kind of understand how, you could name all of these things, but you couldn't see your value as a wife. And I was like, wow, yeah. And I, admitted that I did, in fact, take it very personally, and I was immature. And I told him that I did resubscribe, and he told me that he told me a thumbs up for my growth and my accountability, and he was like, welcome back. And it was cute, it was peace. And this was like a few months ago. So when this situation happened, y'all, my heart really, I feel for him, because like I said, I was in those shoes. I was a person that had access, and sometimes really in these relationships, that's really what it boils down to. It's just access. Like, most of the time people cheat with people they work with. Most of the time people cheat with people they work with or people they live close to. Like, that's literally how it usually goes down with. But what did he say? Oh, great. Oh, so it's not posted yet? Okay, so maybe my phone died. But yeah, this is what I'll do. I'll repost it here. So everyone, I'm going to put it as a banner so everyone can see it as well. Thank you so much, Crown and Beauty. She's on it. She's on it. Create the banner. And I emailed you that banner too. I emailed you that link too, Charles. So, but I thank you for being here tonight. But so I do appreciate that he does follow up. It was never no other conversation because I see what type of other follow up he does with his people, but it was never no other conversation over that other than that. But I do feel for him in that regard that, you know, it's no one to blame but you. Like, you do have to be accountable. And I did appreciate him saying that. But, like, I do feel like he kind of drug her out into the situation because literally, and because he literally had never had her on ever. Like on Instagram.
That was just, to me, that was inappropriate to do that. And then he's all, you know, I don't know.
But what if, how would you have had that conversation with your wife, though? I mean, let's be honest. Okay, but I'm saying, if you were saying, hey, let's go, we're going to do this video. How you going to say, babe, take the bonnet off? Like, what you going to say, Palmetto? Like, what are you going to say?
I wouldn't have her like that. I wouldn't have her. I'll let her. I'll be like, look, we're going to do this video so we can think about it. He didn't want her to think about it. He probably just literally shook her out of bed like, hey, let's go. I'm about to do this video.
I cannot.
Hold my hand. You know what I'm saying? Act like I'm not whatever he is.
She said that was, I mean, she and he both said that was like her personality. Like, that's just, you know, she's like, let me tell you this. I'm not that I don't believe her, but I'm even going to say this. At a certain point in my life, like, you know, and that's why I really do appreciate, you know, us, like, in our interaction and everything, because, bruh, like, before we were, I've been working in the studio and, you know, working with you and building with you, like, I didn't have reasons to put on earrings, like even on my lives. Like I would be like, well, you know, they just gonna get this army gear today. You know, I had on my, you know, my t-shirts and my camos and, you know, like that was just that. And even like sometimes on lives I would throw on some gloss, but for the most part, nah. So I think that she's in a certain position of comfort. And it's just like, that's her routine. Like, she's like a soccer mom, you know? I mean, like, she's like soccer mom gear. Like, she's just like, you know, okay, I got on my bonnet and or my hat, because he said it wasn't a bonnet. He checked Jesse Wu, and he said it wasn't a bonnet, it was a hat. So, and she got on again in another video. So, you know what I think she's going to do? She's going to be like, remember a couple of years ago with that man, Don Sterling, the one that owned the Lakers? And that the mistress that he was with, and she had all them funny visors. She was on that COVID stuff too, but she had that mask. Remember, she had that mask back then. And she's Asian. Yeah, I think we on to something. I think she's coming out with her own line of those bonnets.
Maybe.
And they gonna have some, you know, cute written on the front. You know, like some they probably have some Bible scriptures written on the front. Corinthians 2:11. Psalms 23. You know, they're gonna be cute. She's probably gonna have her own little. She's gonna make this into something. But I do think it's true. The gentleman earlier today was saying. the gentleman earlier was saying that he felt like it was this was a publicity stunt. He feels like the lady. The first lady was paid. He said the other mistresses coming out are not, but he feels like the first lady was paid in order to, because people can be very forgiving. And you know what I saw too? Oh my God, it's like so crazy to me. In this one live where they were talking about it, nobody was even saying this, but one sister was like, that's right. And they got R. Kelly sitting in jail. And I was like, it was like crickets. I was like, what? Like, sis, we talking about all consensual situations right here. We're talking about people that are of age. But I just think that people it's like, yeah, let's lump like all of this together. And let's take this situation and let's take this, and they're gonna say, oh well, she came back and said, well, you can't judge anybody, and I'm not judging. Like I said, I think that it is an accountability situation. I do think that he's being authentic with saying, hey, this happened last year, and me and her were dealing with this. Me and my wife were dealing with this last year, but now we have to address this situation. I do think that the timing of it is just a little suspicious.
Mhm.
I am feeling like what G Trip said. I think that this first mistress might have been someone that was paid to do so, either by someone in his team directly or indirectly involved with his book launch. And everyone loves a comeback story. So I don't think that he was expecting this backlash against the wife, though. I think that's where it's kind of going a little funny. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I said. That's what I said, sis. I said R. Kelly this don't have nothing to do with this whole situation. It was super, super odd. And well, the profile was of a sister, but who knows? That it might have been R. Kelly himself. Actually, I said, Jocelyn, is that you? Jocelyn, if you don't stop playing, Adrielle around the corner, Jocelyn, about to beat your ass again if you don't get off this live talking about some I know, right? And R. Kelly still in jail, as he should. Let's see. Jolly O Trenade. Treyonde, I think you are. I've only seen you in one of the lives, so this is a good one that you're in here tonight. Why are everybody always worried about what black people got on their head, referring to the bonnet thing? And I am not attacking y'all. LOL. I agreed. You know what? Malcolm had a great quote about this. And speaking of which, I'm gonna put that link back up. Jolly, make sure you go and sign this petition. Malcolm had a great quote, and he said, if black people care 2 times more about what goes in their head than what goes on it, we'd be 10 times better off. So agreed. I think that in general, we are just way too caught up in what's going on somebody's hair, head, weave, what have you, and we just need to. Oh, that was a banner. That's right. And we need to just stop. We need to just stop and really assess. What significance does that have in anything? And I was just super surprised when I just saw so many women in particular going in about this bonnet, hat, whatever. I'm like, who the heck cares? Who the heck cares? Like, honestly. Okay. Crown of Beauty says bonnet is meant to be worn indoors for bed. I'm sick and tired of my sister showing up and something like that. Okay, so he said it was a hat, not a bonnet. But in I think that we both agreed it looked like she did get pulled out of bed. It looked like she got pulled out of bed. I don't think that she was thinking the same way he was thinking. And I think that is unfortunate because, like you said, this is a platform where he knows this is millions. But literally, she never has been on a live before. Never.
I mean, that's
odd.
And to me, that's distasteful. Like, okay, so the first time you bring your wife on is because you cheated on her. Like, that's the first time he shows her. That's the first time she shows up is during that time. So it's just like
that was odd.
It's inappropriate. It's opportunistic. It's exploitive.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, it just exudes this disingenuine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I got from it, and I think he's hiding something way deeper than
You keep saying that, but what do you think it is?
Just alternative lifestyle.
So you think we're gonna deal with another Andrew Gillum in a couple of days?
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, he probably that was the whole reason why he brought her on there, is to knock out all the stuff just, as soon as it pops up, you know what I'm saying?
You keep saying that. I want to hear what alternative lifestyle. Because, like I said, I don't get homosexual vibes from him, so to speak.
No.
But it's very interesting that both
I
of the
just-
gentlemen that I had a relationship with after my divorce, they were both like, this guy is just like, this guy sucks. Like, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
This guy sucks. This guy sucks. And I'm just like, ugh, well, you would say that. Like, the first guy was, like I said, he was, he specifically said he just thought he thought Derrick Jackson was homosexual. But the second guy was just like, oh, this guy's a clown. This guy's a this guy's a that. And I was just like, I just felt like it was some jealousy there. But the first guy, it was no reason for him to be jealous per se, but he just said, he felt like he was not, he wasn't a heterosexual man. That's what he kept saying.
I mean, it's just something about how, people get on these platforms. They want to be seen so much, and it's like a sort of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like a therapeutic thing where people, they want to be seen, and they're always on these lives and all this stuff like that. And I'm talking about for men specifically. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when I see that, like, I'm talking to somebody that I'm on the internet too a lot, but I just see it's just like red flags to me that there's something else going on, like something.
We'll see at the bells. I think that nothing's going on stuff, but he has got to get he's got to get books sold. He's become an image. He's an image. So like he's got to get books sold. He's got to get his name out there. That's what's got it. Yeah, I don't get DL vibes either from him. But then again, these days you never know, and it's true. But I always felt like there was something amiss, even before our little, back and forth exchange or what have you. I just felt like he just the smiling. But I would say this too in a heartbeat. It's the same thing I feel about I feel like I don't care what people say about protecting your identity and whatnot. I think the same thing about Chrissy. Just to be saying how weird somebody is or inauthentic or just what type of, just to be saying certain things are awkward about him and his appearance or his approach to all of this. And literally, you've never done a live, you've never put your face out in front of anything. I just think that it's just, it's YouTube or it's social media. People are just people see protecting their identities in different ways, whether to him it might be protecting who he really is, like some people that's okay, same ways it's okay for some people to have whole fake names, like whole fake identities on YouTube or on social media, and they are they're totally something. And literally, when everything happened with John Gray, the pastor, he had so much to say about how the wife should leave.
Yeah.
Why not just why not divorce her and let her just keep the same energy? Because I want to be very honest. With me and my situation, y'all, when I tell you it's hard being a divorced woman, especially divorced. I have, my children are the age where, they ask for real stuff, you know what I mean? Like we were divorced when they were younger, but I just, had to get my son, or not had to get, but I just got my son some gamer headphones, like this was something he was asking for at 6 years old, at 4 years old or 5 years old. My daughter needs real, things, and and I don't want to deny them of that. And they aren't like frivolous things, but there was a point in my marriage where I literally knew that I just was not as committed to fighting for marriage like he was, and so when he was like, "Hey, I am filing. Um, that's it. I didn't fight for it. I didn't fight for it." And I look back on that conversation all the time because maybe if I would have said, "Hey, no, let's do counseling again," or oh, okay, great. So it just came to the point where it's like I don't want to. Um, he should be able to have this conversation. Like he should be able to be with. There's a really good song by Haley. I think her name is Haley Stayfield, and it says, she says, it's called "Let Me Go," and then it says, just I just really hope that you will be with someone with that would love you that the way that you deserve to be loved. Someone that taking care of all of the mess I made, and you don't have to change. I've been hoping that you will find someone to love you. Let me go. And I got to the point where I'm like, okay, like because it really does become it's selfish. It's a selfish thing, and at this point in time, I wasn't cheating with anything like that, but it became very evident that I was not fighting for it the way he was fighting for it. I wasn't. And you tell by the look in this girl's face, she's been fighting. She's been fighting for it. Like she's drained, she's numb, and she's like the last thing I look like I wanted. You know what she looked like to me? How Halle Berry looked in that movie Gothica. Like that's how she looked to me. Like remember Charles Ramsey was drugging her up and stuff because he was around there getting y'all. That movie was a psychological thriller. But if you haven't seen it, definitely shout out to Halle Berry. Go see it. But yeah, she just looked like I don't want to revisit this. Also, like that movie, What Lies Beneath. Woo, with Harrison Ford and who was that? Michelle Pfeiffer. Y'all, it's like she put that where her mind. I think she just felt like she wasn't going to have to read it anymore. And for it to come up now, whether it was by his hand, which is still up for consideration, or whether it was by somebody from his camp, she looked very numb. She did. She looked very numb. Like this situation did happen. They did deal with it, but she was like, she had put that somewhere else. So I think there will be a awakening from her. The same way, like when everything first happened with my ex-husband, we, to therapy and we did therapy for a couple of years. But that move to Miami, something about reorganizing or restructuring the life. And when it was obvious, and it wasn't like I said, it wasn't about cheating at that point. It was just obvious that I wasn't fighting and I wasn't willing to be submissive when it came to the finances. I was still being very much like, I can still do what I want to do with my money. And, when we had that final discussion, I didn't fight him on it. He was just like, I'm filing. And I was just like, okay. And and I look back at that, and I look back on that situation all the time, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe if I would have said this or that, because like I said, it has not been the easiest thing, definitely raising, especially two teens, like, it has not been the easiest thing, being a single mom in these, last few years, but he definitely deserved to be with someone that would be fighting for a marriage and not fighting against them. And I think that I personally don't think that the accountability is all the way where it needs to be with Derek. I think that he did take that time. They did take that time. He was honest with her last year. I think it was to a degree because when you're a cheating, spouse or cheating partner, it you're not even going. You don't even want to admit to yourself, to your spouse. So I don't think he told her everything, but I do believe that he unpacked things and he came clean. But I think the timing of this accountability campaign is very inconsiderate because I think that she's not ready. Um, so, but I definitely going to be lifting the both of them up, both of them up definitely, and just I don't even like to say prayers. I've been thinking about just like the word of it, like we're praying on. I don't want to say in prayer, but I'm definitely lifting them up and expectantly. And he's going to kind of see how it was just poor timing. It was poor timing. I don't think that this is something that's going to be done for her benefit. And especially when he said, "Oh, you're going to see a lot of her." Why now? Why now? Why see a lot? Why are we going to see so much of her now when for all of these years you never on Instagram and other social media accounts, people got wind of who she was, but as far as him on his channel, you never saw her. So why would we be looking to see so much of her now? But I agree, sis. She looked very numb, and she did not seem like she was fully present for that conversation, either of the first two. And then with that whole video that he did with his son, did you see that latest video? He did a video where he actually dissected himself and like that video with him and the wife. It's crazy. It's totally third person, and he's like, right, super odd.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it may not even be, alternative as far as like what you would consider gay or whatever, but it may be just he is some sort of psychopathic thing.
Well, like what I mean, because when you say psychopath, I think Jeffrey Dahmer. I think Ted Bundy.
It may not even be that serious, but it may not be just that serious yet.
I think Jim Jones.
Yeah. There's definitely something that is disturbingly calculative about him.
That's good. Disturbingly calculative. I think so too. And it was always weird to me too how he always did the videos from the car. I never understood that either. And the dude had like multi-million-dollar homes. That was always odd to me. He stayed in that car. Hey, Swag Nation! Look at there. So yeah, we're creeping in here. I don't know what is I don't know what, but like I said too, what is someone to do? Like you said, should have done it privately, but okay. Like remember that from X-Files, David Duchovny? Mm-hmm. He and his wife, I think, had gotten a divorce or separation. Something he was on that show Californication because he had sexual addiction. He had a sex addiction, and that was that was rehab private, but it still came out public and was still dealt with. But I'm saying, like, how would one handle that as you're going through it? Are you going to say to your wife, "Hey, you know what? I'm not feeling the way sex has been going lately, and when I go on this tour, I think I might do a couple hookups." Like, that's just not. I'm just saying from personal experience. That's just not the way a conversation would have ever played out. Yeah. I can tell you what I used to do. I used to always start an argument. That's when I knew I wanted to step out, I would start an argument, about some shit. You know what I mean? Like, that was my go-to thing. So, absolutely. So, I'm just saying, what could he have done? What could he have honestly have done differently to have been like to avoid not being a hypocrite?
I don't know. hypocritical. I mean, I don't know. Some people are just hypocritical like that.
He's just hypocritical.
He's just hypocritical. Like that's how I've been feeling. Like I mean, I really haven't been checking out any of his videos. I just seen people repost his stuff on Instagram at times.
Yeah.
And but he just to me it's like it's just something about him that just seems just hypocritical. Just seems like disingenuous, and it seems.
Because how can you have a real conversation about that? I mean, honestly, because he told one of the women that that the sex life was really bad. How do you have an honest conversation? I just don't know. I don't know because I don't even think that even men want to have an honest. They don't want. Do men really want women to be honest about like that? Like, so I don't even think that that's like a realistic thing. Like, how could he have avoided being a hypocrite besides never have speaking out about any of the things? But he might have genuinely felt passionate about some of these things. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. That's why these set standard relationship dynamics don't necessarily work with everybody. He made a more open relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be honest. You know what I'm saying? About things, and if you're in a relationship and you're lying, or you have to be doing some different things, that's not a healthy relationship.
It's not healthy.
So
it's not healthy. But doesn't everybody do that to some degree? You think? Because even polygamy, even in polygamous relationships, I've heard women say it was obvious that so and so liked having sex with so and so more, but they'll always say it's not about sex, but so is there ever really a point where you can really get honest when it comes to relationships with spouses?
I think you can, and that's what this is striving for. It's hard. Striving to be, somewhere else, ducked off with somebody else. I mean, that's not, what I'm saying? Like, if all parties are not knowing what's up, then I just think it's just. That's not the relationship that he needed. He's just the relationship that he puts on. Like, he's putting on this, I'm this person, I'm this one woman man, and, one woman's enough for me, all this stuff like that. Like, he's just putting on this front.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that, all right, so should he have said that he struggled with that, maybe? Do you say that? Do you say I struggle with it without someone saying, oh, nigga cheated? You know what I mean? Like, how do you say it?
I don't know. I think he should have just came to a life about having a more open relationship and going about it a different way as opposed to cheating. To me, when you cheat, the cheating thing, that whole thing is to me, someone that is you're trying to uphold this facade or this idea of what you think a relationship is. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to hold up this idea of, oh, well, this relationship, it has to look like this and it has to look like that. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, that's why I never believed too. I was listening to a couple of panels, and the same thing. Like, I never believe when people say online when they're like, well, not never believe, but I just really take those relationship goal things with like kind of a grain of salt. Except for Sierra and Russell Wilson, I love them. But I believe all of the corniness and all of the sweetness. Like, I believe all of that. But I know some people too that just absolutely think that she is miserable with him because he's such like he's so different from the other men that she was into public relationships with, and he's boring, and he's a someone said that he was who was the guy? Carlton. Someone said that he was a Carlton. They're like, how do you go from like the Fresh Prince to Carlton, like type of thing? But I think to each his own, and especially when it comes to relationships. Like, I remember when the whole situation was happening with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, and I think I was at Florida A&M during that time, and my college professor, who is Chili's aunt, Chili from TLC, she was saying that, she was like, Courtney, you're gonna look back at this piece because I wrote a piece for the FAMU and the campus magazine, and she was like, you're gonna look back at this piece and you're gonna just see how immature it was, and I was like, oh, what are you talking about? And da 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 da. And then years later, when I'm going through what I was going through with my indiscretions, and I'm thinking about that piece, and luckily I didn't have it in front of me, but I was just thinking about some of the things that I said about Bill Clinton and about, just the disrespect that he was showing Hillary Clinton, and like I said, I was in no situation that was I was not in a situation where I could have offered any type of moral judgment. But this before I was married and all of that. But so I didn't have that foreshadowing. But Crown of Beauty said, ain't no relationship goals for me. True. Like I said, because your relationship, when it comes down to it, your relationship is your relationship, and it might be something that totally works for you. That is not something that's cutter for anybody else, and I agree. So it says, I know Kevin Samuels is somewhere dancing, rejoicing at the thought of this whole situation. Oh, I don't think he's somewhere. I think he's publicly. But you know what? Interesting. We just talked about Kevin Samuel a little bit earlier today. Please go back and watch that live. But I'm saying that I have really been impressed with how I've seen Kevin Samuel handle conversations and discussions these last few weeks. Like I've watched about 3 or 4 of these that he's been on, are these discussions, and this was prior to the whole Derek Jackson Action Jackson gate, and I was just like, you know what, like I said, I'm not interested in watching his show, but I can definitely, you need a villain, and I can understand how things get misconstrued so that it's put on someone. But we are all shades of gray. There's it's not one way or the other way. It is, we're all complex, we're all unique, and I think that the more we realize, that, I think the better of society we can be in a whole, because it's not about judging one another, but it's more so appreciating that we're all unique and we're all different, and that's just what it is. So I just wish that it wasn't such a distraction for us. That's my only wish, that we realize that this is his wife, his marriage. None of y'all, what he eats is not making y'all ish, as my mom used to say. Is not driving up the cost of tea in China. So those are my thoughts. I hope that we don't keep going out. I hope that this is weird. I hope that this is still being recorded, because sometimes the playback is funny. So what else is going on that we should be unpacking? I know I'm tired of this. I'm really tired of the Asian. You did a good video last week. I loved it. Yeah, but I'm really getting really tired of like this whole stand in solidarity. I had to tell HER off, her, whatever. I ain't saying I told her off, but I just had some words in her comment section. All of these people that's like, I stand with the Asian community. Like, is this really necessary? Like, when have we not stood for real? Like, we have funded plenty of Asian kids going to Ivy League colleges. Trust me. When have we not stood up for them? When have we not spent with them? Yeah.
Hate thing. The whole Asian hate thing is contrived. It's a contrived thing. They take isolated incidents from the West Coast and anything. Right now, if a strong wind blew on an Asian, You know what I'm saying? It's a national news story now, you know? It's like it's contrived, it's not a trend, it's not anything like that. Now, what it is doing is prompting pink power terrorists to do things because they look at it and they're like, okay, well let me do something to an Asian since it's Asian hate. They're just attracted to hate. So Asian hate, they're just like, "Whoop, okay, let me get to it, you know. So, that to them, that's something, but it's just contrived. They have these, they go and they exploit these places where there's a higher tension of Asian and black tension, like the West Coast and different spots, like Oakland and things like that, where there is historic tension between the
Right.
Asian and black
Right.
community. They just exploit these whole things. They use a couple isolated incidents, and then in New York, if the wind blows too hard and the Asian's hair flops up, it's national news. So it's contrived. It's just a whole contrived thing, and it is to take away from from black people, and also is there to try to create a model, what is called the model minority, in which they try to make they try it's just attempt to reestablish the racial hierarchy, which they don't talk about. That's what I'm talking about. There's things they don't talk about, but there's this racial hierarchy in America, and that to sort of reestablish that racial hierarchy, um, they need things like this. So that is going to be, you know, the hunchbacks next, and the one-eyed cyclops hate. You know what I'm saying? You're hating on dwarves. Stop
Hating on people with missing limbs.
You know?
Stop this paraplegic
Yeah.
hate here. All the handicapped are being taken
Handicap
advantage of.
hate. That's what it's gonna be
Handicap
next.
hate. We're gonna take that. Anything but hey, we over here being lynched and killed and wrapped up in mats and
let's just be
have to be
honest, because okay, you can't be racist towards Asians. You can only be racist towards black people. That's what the whole term came from. Is for black people. You could only be racist towards black people. Black people could only be racist towards black people. So the whole Asian race, where people are being racist towards Asians, no, they may be showing a little bit of prejudice, but don't say this bigotry or glorify this. Racism is not the same thing as glorified prejudice.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Racism is systemic. The only true
Right.
racism is systemic. I can't call the cops on Mao Lane and they come up there and use him as target practice.
Come on.
But if I call the
Come on.
cops on Jerome,
Come
they're
on.
going to come out there with army
Full
gear and
force blaze. Yes.
act like it's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, so
so
that's what I'm saying. Like that whole thing about Asian hate is contrived, and then I'm looking like, when did this start? Like it just all of a sudden just popped up.
It was okay. Literally popped off. It was okay. That they rallied around the Korean woman that shot Latoya Harlins in the back of the head, and it was okay for the Korean community to rally around this lady, and for this lady to serve no jail time.
Yeah.
And this mother had to literally bury her 14-year-old daughter over $1.23 of orange juice. Like really. I tell you right now, I mean, even somebody can take a $2 cup of Grove Aid. You know what I mean? Like I am not shooting nobody over no.
You gotta have contempt for that person
To shoot them in the back of the head. A child.
You're just looking for a reason.
A child.
Anything. It could be And also I want to say, you know, the whole situation is a contrived thing. It's a contrived thing with the Asian and black thing. Now, where were these people when Asians were violating black people in their
That's what I
stores, their
mean.
hair
Yeah.
stores, and
Literally
all other
physically
stuff like
attacking
that?
them, not letting them leave, making children,
Yeah, where was the
strip
false outrage?
down.
Where was the false outrage then? Like it's just this selective outrage in this thing where people are just trying to just latch on to anything that smells like Black Lives Matters,
Hmm.
and it's just
Hmm.
it's disgusting, really, and it's like, okay, all this Asian hate, and it's just it's really stupid, honestly, because people just buy into it. They buy into anything the mass media puts out there and
That's what it
as
really is, the
valid. You know what I'm
planting.
saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
The planting of it,
yeah,
right?
it's like, okay, this is valid. You guys talk about this and latch on to these Asians getting, um, a brick thrown at them or whatever. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. So it's like we just,
And it's clear reaching because I've seen just like some very it just like I said, it's clear reaching across, with these different incidents that really have nothing to do with them being Asian. It has more
yeah,
so to do with them being people being disrespected in their own communities.
yeah, yeah, they're
But
very disrespectful. Let's
right,
talk about Asian disrespect
thank you,
in these stores when
thank
they
you,
come in there and try to follow you all around.
thank you.
Oh, hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. What?
And I,
Why? Like that's what? And
I issue even with a woman he's talking to my daughter and to ask my daughter if she's gonna buy something. My
yeah,
daughter is a child. I'm clearly the mom. You talk to me. Don't talk to my
yeah.
daughter about not buying. Are you
Let
gonna buy it?
let's change the narrative. Like,
Right. I'm
forget
talking
Asian
about.
hate. How about Asian disrespect of black people?
Come on.
Let's talk about
Come on.
Asian disrespect of black people, which is so apparent, so rampant. It's way more rampant than Asian hate. That Asian hate that they have on there. Because any of these stores you go in there, you linger around the products too much, you're gonna be like and
And it's
trying to see what's
unfortunate we
going
can't
on.
have these type of conversations with someone saying, oh well, we're whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
these are real situations that we're never having to be addressed. And I think that there's a real divide when that comes to our community with not wanting to even address any of this, but immediately they wanted to say, "Oh, I stand with the
because
Asian,"
they're
instead of
brainwashed. They're brainwashed
instead
by
of
any
addressing
any
it.
line that the media puts out there, and not everybody's gonna make it. That's why I just chalk it up to that because if you just believe and hop on to everything that the mass media says, then you are not going to make it, and that's just the sad truth of it. Now, I talked about on Too Raw for TV several months ago, the solution to Asian hate: boycott everything Asian, because Asians are not they want black people to take up for black people. Oh, you guys shouldn't be doing that. You guys shouldn't be doing that. But when the Chinese were kicking Africans out of
Their
China
dorms,
because of
yeah.
some false coronavirus thing, which they created in their country, and you know what I'm saying, and that's how it happened. It didn't have anything to do with black people. Matter of fact, during those times, during the early times of Ben, black people were not even getting it. It
Right,
just until it came to America,
right.
that's when things happened or whatever. That's we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but. No Asian person spoke out about that. No Asian person speaks out. So like,
Yeah, that is
I
true.
boycott everything Asian, and we been should have boycott everything Asian. No even need to have any word. Let them search for Asian hate. We boycott everything Asian, and don't have anything to say to them. They're gonna try to then they're gonna try to make us say something to them. That's all it is. They just try to reel black people in to their whatever it is, and saying, and it's usurping our energy. That's what I talk about. this 150-year cycle, they're just using everything to usurp black people's energy to get them into a lower level of servitude. And, you can, I mean, right now it's like, are you going to buy it, or are you going to go and, empower yourself instead of, having these news media outlets tell you what's important?
Let's talk about that for a minute too, because I know that earlier we were talking about, being told and kind of how like the fake woke are kind of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
devising. Oh man, it's just they're kind of devising their own. Like, okay, at that same event that I was talking about, for Saturday that we were discussing earlier, there was this guy walking around telling people they better put on a mask. Like, bruh, and we supposed to be at this woke event.
Yeah.
But and then I noticed too he was telling the children, I mean my kids, my children, not kids, not baby goats. My children were around food, so that's why it was important. I feel like we had ours on. That's just because coughing and whatever.
Yeah.
I just think that this looks more sanitary that we're gloved up and we have on our mask around the food. But there were children clearly there just enjoying the event, and he's like, "What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Put some mask on." And I'm like, "Hey, you supposed to be woke? We supposed to be woke?" So it's definitely a divide there, even.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where are we supposed to be? See, these are our elders. Where are we supposed to be going with this, with these conversations, with this?
I don't know. The elders, to me, I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
a lot of things have to be let go of, and unfortunately, a lot of the elders, quote unquote elders, they just need to go to the wayside. Tell them that you can't tell them to do anything differently. They're going to believe everything Don Lemon. They're going to believe everything he says, everything Rachel Maddow regurgitates. They're going to believe anything that they say. So, I mean, it's like, what can you do?
What
Like,
can we do?
let the dead bury the dead, like Jesus said.
Mm.
Know what I'm saying? That's what we can do. Let the dead bury the dead, and it's unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's not unfortunate to me because I already gone past it mentally,
Yeah.
where I've already have. I'm
You
like,
seem to be a lot of so a lot of the a lot of the vision. I'm still very much like, how did this happen? Like, what is this? You know, and it's laughable at one point on some, Rodney King type. Let's all get along. If you didn't get beaten down and seeing, it's really something like watching that movie and you can't turn it off. Um, so what are your thoughts? Well, I know what you think about the vaccine, but what do you think that we're going to? Do you think that we're not going to be able to travel? Like, how far do you think this is going to be pushed back? Yeah.
I mean, they're setting it up again. They're opening things up.
Yeah, they're really opening things up. I mean,
yeah, they're open, but they're for a plot time.
That's why they're telling you to
So
wear
they're
2 and 3 masks.
So they're opening things up, and then they're going to be like, "Oh no, we shouldn't have opened things up so early. Oh my God! Now this mutated version of coronavirus is here, and everybody has to stay in the house." And it's just like, yeah, and it's just like, I see it. You can see if you are in tune, you can see what's happening. That's why they're opening things up. They're putting different things in place. They're trying to get a million immigrants in here. you know, that
Yeah.
Biden's pushing.
Super. Like this is the not even just scary, but it's a super intrusive plan on rolling in, not just rolling, just bringing them in, but just implanting. Yes, implanting them in all the in all your communities.
And that's what this Asian hate thing is.
Jobs.
Plays a part with this whole Asian hate narrative. It's not a coincidence that Kamala Harris is the first Asian vice president, and then this whole Asian hate thing comes.
Yes.
It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. So, you know, it's contrived. You know, they're gonna the whole COVID thing has been contrived since day one, with as far as statistically with the numbers and stuff like that. And then they're gonna come in and they're gonna be like, oh, well, we're going to open everything up now. You guys are straight. You guys got the vaccine. Oh, no. The vaccine is not working like it should. Everybody, get back in the house. It's the new thing. They're not even going to call it COVID. They may call it some other thing. Because that, yeah, if you notice, they switched coronavirus, and now it goes by the rap name of COVID. 19 since now it's affecting the black community is COVID-19. That's the black version of coronavirus. So it's like, you know, it's I mean, it is what it is. If you're on the path, the only true thing that could save the world right now is black supremacy.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
What I'm saying? The only thing right now that could save the world from everything else is just, you know, people are falling for the okie doke. People are falling for whatever you know, this reporter says. They're falling for, and like I said, it's not even mainstream media. It's just mass media at this point, because it's just you know, all of these Associated Press voices, you know, like different news outlets and everything like that. It may not be mainstream per se, but just populated on the website or on the internet with a lot of different, you know, using a lot of different news media outlets on the internet.
Yeah, just a concerted effort, and you can really see that. And that's what we have got to become, just as organized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just as organized with our stacking too. Yeah, that's, you know, I just think that that's something that, you know, I really want to be quite aware of. Diamond Prince says this COVID-19 is getting on my nerves. That's a lot of people. Oh, so did you hear about that? So, you know, Swag Nation, that's where I just moved up from, Miami, and it is all over. They had like an incident of violence in on South Beach. And no, it wasn't Asian. It was like Springers, just in general, just down there. And it was a lot of fights, a lot of people in. I don't know if anybody died, but the police definitely, you know, it's been like military state, and you know, they kind of felt like, you know, Miami shouldn't have been opened also soon for COVID with coming on down.
They gotta set it up. That's the whole opening thing. So it's just, that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to see beyond the curve, because the whole opening things up is just a precursor to them going, oh no, it's a stronger virus. Coronavirus has mutated. Now you guys need 3 vaccines. It's just like everyone turn their shade blue and do all this other stuff. But when it comes to self-empowerment, you know, and when it comes to realizing the actual power that you have in yourself and utilizing, they don't want to do that. They want to, you know, do whatever the idiot box tells them to do.
What do you think about this comment here? Diamond Princess says, Black people have a lot of work to do before we can lead a country. I
Right.
don't.
I
Yeah,
can leave
I
the
don't.
country right now.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think
I
I'm
can
not
leave the
looking for
country
the
today at
collective
this
of us
moment.
to lead. I think that individually, like you know what, already, as Brother Palmetto stated, you know, uh, I mean, this man went how many 800 days without eating?
Everyone.
801 days without eating. It's something that less than 2% of the population, black or white, do in office, and I was elected. Like you're talking to the collective. Don't we ain't talking to the collective? It's black supremacy. Let's talk to the supreme of us. Not everybody can be saved. I think that that's something that had been hard for me to even say and realize and appreciate that we're at a time where it's not about how many people can we bring with us. It is necessary for you to say, okay, well, what can I do to make sure that I'm straight, that I'm securing myself, and that your tribe may not be a nation, it's a tribe. It may be 4 or 5 people. It may be, it may be a few people, but it doesn't have to be the collective. And I think that was one of the hardest things for me to adjust to, the knowing that it may not be an entire community. So yeah, we have to just get into the supreme mindset of thinking, and and uh, you know, it's not everybody ain't gonna everybody is interested in making it. I know I am. I'm interested. I plan on, like, that's my plan. That's my plan personally. I know that's not everybody am. So I do want the ability of being conducive to, being able to visit back here and fly back over, as I do have children, and um, as I do plan on them having children, and that may not be their interest to, move or to migrate back to Africa, to repatriate rather. But I still want the freedom and the flexibility to visit them and to go back and forth, or luxury of doing so. Because it definitely will be considered. It is considered a luxury to be able to travel and to, live in multiple countries. But I think that's what I think that thinking is kind of what limits a lot of us, is that we think that, oh, you can't hear me. Sorry. No, instead I'm breaking up. I was breaking up, so I don't know if I'm still doing it. But yeah, when we say black people have a lot to do before we can lead a country, I think that you're looking at the collective, and let's stop looking at the collective. Let's start looking at individually. What can I do? What can I do to make sure, like, I know you, your sister, your niece. Um, I think you have 2 nieces now, right? But we need to start looking at that. And that's unfortunate, but we do need to get back to kind of a more tribalistic way of thinking, because I think community wise, we are very divided. We are very divided, and we'll be kind of stuck trying to appease a community, as opposed to really getting something done. Yes, 2 nieces. Congratulations, sis. So yeah, we definitely, I'm interested in continuing the conversation. We're definitely going to be hosting a really good live this Saturday morning, this Saturday upcoming. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be just very informative. We're talking about being on the end of this moratorium. It's going to be led by the MX Media Group. We're going to be talking about surviving eviction. We have a plan that we're going to be discussing more about it beforehand, but rolling out just opportunities for us to look back into reorganizing and regrouping and purchasing, land, property, being able to reacclimate ourselves to certain areas that we've been uprooted from because we were told they were inhabitable, but yet it's all of this farmland that is just not being utilized. And so we're going to be having a really powerful discussion about that coming up this Saturday. Please, you do not want to miss it. It's going to be led by the MX Media Group. And we're going to be discussing, now that the moratorium is ending and Biden said he ain't cutting y'all no more checks, like what you said on that, y'all straight, like y'all got your 1,400, that's it. Y'all, that's a joke. He's not no more checks after this 1,400, and after you get your taxes, and they plan for y'all to be good for the rest of your life, basically off of this, and it's ridiculous. But we're gonna be talking about a survival plan, literally, coming up this Saturday. That's gonna be led by the MX Media Group, and it is definitely time for us to start. Not even start, but we should have been doing this, but. Looking at property and land that we can be into, because once this eviction moratorium is up, they're literally planning on, there are millions of people supposed to be going, and just as the brother that shared, guess what? They got million immigrants moving in. Guess what? They're gonna need to put them someplace. They're gonna need to move them someplace where the people got evicted from. This is where this really is. That 1,400 going in 2 more days. It's going in 2 hours. Literally 1,400. Honestly, especially if you're in a place where you're paying rent or mortgage. Biden, his plan is not to create more jobs. His plan is to give your jobs over to the people that are coming. Hello? I don't think that's the point. His point was not to create more jobs. I think even in Trump's plan of the platinum plan, job creation was even more of a higher priority. I think climate control and housing has been something that should be done, but when you talk about housing, they're not talking about creating housing ownership opportunities, but they're talking more so about just building more apartments and places for people to get shuttled into.
And that whole creating more jobs thing.
Come on, that's always a farce.
That's so slave anyway.
Slave. Hashtag that. That's so slave. It is. And you know what? I want to be honest, y'all. Can I say this? I don't want to be. I sound ungrateful. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I always kind of give people the side eye when they say, I found a job for you. Like, do you what? I found a perfect job for you, and it's always some bullshit. It's bruh, it is always some bullshit, and it really is, and like people really do be there, like they helping you out, but it's like I said, you know what? Don't find no job. Find some money for me. Find some money for me, or find an opportunity for me. But finding a job for me is like, okay, so this job is going to enable me to do what? It's going to indenture me to someone or something. And the fact that they be excited about telling you that. Like, this is how conditioned I think that we are as a people. But you're right, absolutely. 1,400 is not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not even, if you're talking about the average rent for most people that do pay rent is $1,000. The average mortgage for a good mortgage is just $900. It's just a little less than. So when you talk about 1,400 being what's given, and I don't have a car, so I can't tell you what the average car note is. But when you talk about average rent being $1,000, when we talk about the average utility bills being about $200, okay, and you're talking about what the average person spends on groceries in a day, not a month, but a day, is $160. That's 1,400 right there. Literally. That's 1,400 right there. And that's in groceries. That's people that, don't grow their own. That's people that are, doing, that's the average shopping. That's not even included going out to eat, which we know most, most Americans do. So we really have to be honest when it comes to that. Yes, I think so too. I think so, and that's what it is. And that's what it is. It's not about let's come down to that because we're not willing to be conservative. A lot of us. I won't say we because like I say, y'all know anything about my background. Like I said, I'm very modest with it. I do okay. I do okay, but I'm very modest with my living, and I also have two cats. so so probably would be even different if I didn't have the cats. But speaking of which, I have to make sure they have some cat food for the morning. But don't have a car, don't have a TV. Um, uh, always reconfiguring some old outfits, some jackets and that sort of thing, and just also teaching my children to do the same thing. Also teaching my children to do the same thing. So we have to make sure that we do as a people is like we have to continue to do that for the next like my kids are learning how to grow. That's something that necessarily we didn't do as my siblings. So we have to make sure that we're doing that for the next. Teaching our kids how to grow, how to sew, how to create. Because if you can create, you'll never be broke. You'll never be broke. So we have to do that more so as a collective. Wow, thank you, sis. Says some of us wish we could eat out at the Colored Only Cafe.
Come on,
Atlanta, you can absolutely. You're totally welcome. I have a plate. I'll have a couple of plates for you. And we're adding some real fun new menu items as well. But yeah, I mean, the bottom line is this, guys. We are getting to a point where we can't see that we have to, not even it being a choice, but if we can't see that we must be to a situation where we can do for ourselves, like literally we can support one another. I saw this firsthand. I often talk about this, and I'll never get tired of talking about this. But when I was in Miami, and when I was on the council, and when the pandemic was first happening, and they were starting to scale back restaurants being open because restaurants were the first thing they started, shutting down. Those businesses on the white side, they absolutely started collaborating, helping one another, floating each other's loans. We'll sell your food out of this spot because the bigger spots were closed first. The smaller spots, because they didn't have that many people, they weren't closing as fast. So they were literally the bigger spots was selling their food through the smaller spots. They were making it so that, hey, sharing delivery drivers, they helped one another so that they could stay afloat until they got those SBAs, until those loans came through. The black businesses, no communication, they just folded. Like almost immediately. Almost immediately. Weren't trying to get these loans, they were just folding left and right. And it really goes to that. Like we do have what we need to support one another. But are we going to use it? How are we going to use it? That's the question. Thank you so much, Swag. I do my thing, and that man, glory really does go up because I promise y'all that was nothing I ever wanted to do growing up. And I had a couple of, exes that actually even told me that they were like, oh, you can cook and whatnot. And I was just like, I didn't want to cook. I liked eating out. I liked eating out a lot. And so then it came to the point where, like, with me having these children, I wanted to make quality food that they felt just as that was best just as special that they were eating at home that going out. So that's where that all started. But thank you so much, and I can't wait to give you a plate. Hey, so so we're closing out. I do want to again invite everyone, if you have not signed the petition, I'm going to put that link back up. Please make sure you sign that petition to make Malcolm X Day a worldwide event. We're not talking about doing it in your city, doing it in your community, doing it in your state. We're not going to go small time with this. The man was international. He should be honored as such. And we're very excited with rolling this out as we get prepared for May 19th. So that is the day that we are looking to pioneer this effort in getting it declared a international holiday. It is May 19th, and that falls on a Wednesday, which is a What's Going On Day. So make sure you please sign that petition. I'm going to see, I don't know if this is going to play again. I'm going to see if it'll play straight through. But I really appreciate you all for being here tonight. It's been fun. It's been live. This, of course, is Brother Palmetto's born day. So as well as our first day of the new year officially. So blind guy, his wife, their life says, yep, and this is my sister, absolutely my sister, definitely in spirit, says, yep, we just have to do it. Let's talk and more walking with each other. We can great talk tonight. And that's true. That's peace. That's true. We can do it if we honestly support one another. And I mean honestly. You take those same Taco Bell, y'all, and I'm talking about myself right there because I love some Chick-fil-A. But if we can take that same $10 up there, we can surely take it across to Colored Only Cafe. We can surely take it across to, even to Selly's Raw. So I say, even if it's not me, just supporting us, because the power is in us. We can. So I'm going to see if this is going to play again for us tonight. But I want to thank you all so much for being here tonight. Any closing thoughts, Brother Palmetto? Tell everyone to check your live tomorrow also.
blogtalkradio.com/2raw for TV, TWORAW TV. We're going to talk about CIA revelations, how they are talking about time travel, superpowered humans, and
So some real life stuff. Absolutely.
and alien superpowered humans and 5 documents from the CIA. It's just been a confirmation to a lot of people that's been talking about this, like me, that's been talking about that and telling people and stuff. But it is actually very, very extensive, expansive, and mind-blowing. So we're going to reveal that people tomorrow night. That's Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.com/2raw for TV. The call-in number is 516-453-9174. And it's 2raw for TV. Just hashtag the number 2, RAW, the number 4, number T, and TV. Hashtag 2raw for TV in your social media, and you'll see what we're doing. Also, I'm encouraging everybody to get 3 steps to end racism right now.
Right now.
This is the most important literary work of the new age, and it's a manuscript to go and guide us through this confusing time that we're in, and really in racism, not deal with it until all these old races die, because guess what, new races are coming up, and so racism will not end until we end it. So I have comprised 3 steps to end racism right now, and we can end racism in real time as we speak. So that's um, that's out right now. You can read it for free. The link is on my bio on Instagram, Too Raw for TV Takeover. Or you could just email me 3steps to end racism at gmail.com. And I'm encouraging everybody to get the hard copy because, um, as someone that's been deplatformed after being mentioned on CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, I know that this may not necessarily stay online for long. So I want people to get something tangible because that's the way they could pass it down or share it without having to turn on Google or having to get it off your hard drive or whatever. This way that it could stay forever potentially. So, and as I was saying before,
Okay.
books are the only thing that appreciate in value as soon as you buy them. So, everything else depreciates in value. The only thing that appreciates in value, that means go up, is books and books and artwork. So, and this is a rare book because I'm not using Amazon. This is completely a self-published work, and I'm doing it myself. So, just the fact that it's rare in that aspect alone increases the value of it. So, um,
I love it.
yeah, and the information in here is invaluable. You can't even put a price tag on it. So I'm encouraging everybody to get the hard copy, 3steps to end racism at gmail.com. Hit me up on Instagram, Too Raw for TV Takeover. Hit me up on Twitter, Palmetto_star.
And so again, check back. We're going to be having tomorrow on Urban Country Films. I'll be on at 8 a.m. I know it's gonna be early, y'all. It's gonna be early for me too. But we will be on talking about reparations. Your meditation hour starts at 9, correct?
Mm-hmm.
At 9 o'clock. Remember, you can call me Prophet, Win the Revolution, and Too Raw for TV Takeover
Mm-hmm.
are the Instagram handles. You all make sure you check back. Remember, next week, you all, I am super excited. Next week, my website finally launches for Colored Only Cafe. But on Colored Only Cafe on the website, you can find everything that is connected to Courtney Omega or Omega Courtney, this channel. These videos will be uploaded over there because some of my videos have been blocked over here, y'all. So they will be uploaded onto my website. All of the links to MX Media Groups will be over there as well. And of course, the menus every week for Colored Only Cafe. So I'm super, super excited. Y'all, I've been working, I've been building. I know we haven't been doing a lot of these lives, but I promise we have definitely been building. And we are just looking forward to continuing to grow and also to encourage those of you all who want to publish your works to do that with us here at Too Raw for TV Printing Press and Studio. So with that being said, we're going to be closing out the night. But we're
Well,
going
let me
to...
say one thing.
Sure.
It's my birthday. Help me out, contribute, support the movement.
Yes.
My birthday, I just would like to give you a book on my birthday, and there's 3 steps actually for me to send you a copy today. All you have to do is hit me up on the email. Give me your mailing address, and the inbox are on the email. You cash app $50 to Palmetto Star. That's $PALMETTOSTAR.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will send a signed limited edition hard copy to you anywhere in the continental United States. If you're outside of the continental United States, we could talk and we can arrange something so I can send it to you to wherever you are at internationally as well. But just hit me up, give me your mailing address via the email 3steps to end racism at gmail.com or on the inbox. Send me $50 Cash App, Palmetto Star, $Palmetto Star, and I will send you a signed limited edition rare copy of 3steps to end racism right now for
Not
your
now or right now.
yes, right now for your bookshelf and for your coffee table, and have it as a hard copy so that it won't be lost in the internet censorship
Of
that's
course.
happening right now.
Of course, and in the deplatform movement that's happening.
Yeah, cancel culture.
But definitely, and also please check back in with us on Saturday as we are going to be talking Real Deal from MX Media Group survival stories about how to survive the moratorium ending, how to stretch your stimulus check, and how to invest that into real property ownership and property management. So, with that being said, I'm going to try to play this one more time, y'all. And we're going to, again, please, everyone, go to change.org/claim Malcolm X Day worldwide. Make sure you not only sign that petition, but you share and you support. And remember, your signature, never underestimate what that share or what a signature does. Because again, you telling someone else to do it, the first thing they're going to ask is if you did it. So make sure you do sign that because there's so many people that have gone, they've looked at it, and they haven't signed it. So never underestimate what this type of support can do. Again, a community in Illinois, even though we will be unpacking more of what that reparations legislation looks like on Saturday, still the reality is that just with the resolution with signatures that started with the petition, we started with organizing and unifying with this vision, they were able to get housing grants, put in the name of reparations, but for their community of their African descendants of slaves who have been affected or discriminated against in the housing ownership process. So never underestimate what the power of your signature, what the power of unity can do. So until next time, y'all know what to do.
For the black man, and where and when is it to be attained?
Well, take equality first. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad doesn't teach us to associate equality with whites. Equality has nothing to do with whites. We don't want to be equal with the white man. He's not the criteria or yardstick by which equality is measured.
My name is Erica. I'm the CEO of ET Productions. This is Famous Carnival Hot Dog.
My name is Angela Rosemary.
having a great pop-up event.
Supporting local charities, which is Halo 7, and we're supporting local Black-owned